Through the center, man. I'll try. Hey, yes, Google Santa. What did he do? Like, did he go off on him during like an esports event, or just like on his own account? If you're gonna go off on somebody, use a different account, man. Cause people fucking aren't cool about that nowadays. Like, I wouldn't mind, man. You say what you want in your free time, you know? People can get over it, but went off in Discord. Oh, in Discord. How we'll get cancer and stuff. I don't know. When your life revolves around the internet and like talking to people and like, I don't know, just internet activities and shit, people will like crucify you. Like, everybody's watching you. If your job's tied to it, like, I don't know, it's just kind of a big deal. Like, I don't personally care, like, you can say that if you want. It doesn't bother me. The sliding dick. I just think you need to be more careful, personally, you know? Like, he can do what he wants, but it's no surprise he got fucked for it. It's too bad you gotta be afraid of saying whatever you want, but if your job's to be a personality in a very internet-heavy culture, like, you should probably use a different account or say that shit privately. Like, I can say shit like that because I'm just some jackass, man. So much stonking. No, man. That'd be the problem with having a job like that and then tying all of your online shit to your job handle. And letting people know that that's you, like, cause you're on watch all the time, dude. You've got to be very careful. Look at PewDiePie, dude. He says one thing and everybody like crucifies the guy. Either it's right or wrong. Like, you just be careful either way, man. If you're in a position that can be destroyed because of things you say. Like, I could say things, but it ain't gonna end my life or nothing. I mean, there's things that could end my stream, I guess. But nothing like that. It'd have to be like Twitch rules breaking kind of shit. It's like, even I gotta watch out for shit like that, but I don't have like a company that's watching me or something, you know? What was it? What was done to make the katana turn the lock? Well, the more and more public shit's gonna be, the more and more you're gonna get people who are gonna fucking roast you for what you said. Like, everybody said some shit like that, you know? It's just a matter of where you're saying it. As a job at Pizza Hut, yo, Dale, sorry, streaming the game out, killing dogs, sorry, I can't work at Pizza Hut anymore, yeah. See, that's the problem, like, that can happen, man, you know? Like, the chances of somebody finding you is lower, but it's like, I don't know, man. I don't think the shit you do in your free time should, like, dictate, you know, how your job is and shit. To that extent, but, like, yeah, to some shit, like, if I go kill people in my free time, then, like, of course, but I feel like there's a fine line.
That's it. The reason the culprit stuck the katana into the effigy.
Last job would fire if your Facebook job description listed them. Yeah.
Was so that it would hit the sliding lock as the effigy spun.
So ridiculous, man.
Effigy spun?
I don't want to link any weird people. See, that's the thing like with the YouTube show. It's like, man, everybody's like links the people or the content with the fucking the sponsor or something. I could see it with employees more, you know, like, you know, oh my god, you hire a person like this. Like, they would never know, man. Like, come on, man. But you get those people who stir shit, so I guess they gotta be careful of those people.
That's right. If you spun the effigy, the rope it was hanging from would twist. Then, if you let it go, the rope would unwind and the effigy would spin the other way. And of course, the katana would spin with it.
I see. So the culprit used the katana's counterswing to push the lock into place?
The culprit simply needed to spin the effigy's rope and then swiftly leave. This would cause the spinning katana to hit the sliding lock. And thus was the back door of an empty classroom locked from the inside. Yes, that's how Angie's lab was locked. By using the effigy with a katana.
A plan born from the heart of a sword traveling through the air to intercept us. Oh, but could it have moved the slide lock so easily?
The sliding lock was pretty loose. Little push could move it. As long as the spinning katana hit the lock, it would have slid into position.
Even if the culprit failed the first couple times, they could keep trying until it locked.
Which is why the culprit chose to strike at nighttime, as to avoid detection.
Yes, since the student council prohibited anyone from...
Guess that's one reason if you got a lot of crazy jobs and shit, you don't let people know a bunch of personal information. Just because a lot of companies are so just paranoid and just crazy about shit like that. I mean, you could do almost anything, and maybe a company has grounds in their mind to like get rid of you or something.
Are you saying it's the student...
The Wild West out there, man.
I didn't say that.
In any case, the culprit probably used the murder weapon for this trick. It had to have been the right length to hit the sliding lock from the effigy.
The culprit couldn't find a blade long enough in my lab, so they settled for the katana.
The other effigies were only hung up, so we figured it was some kind of ceremony.
Made it harder for companies to fire people? Oh, really? I do think that it's all, you know, like, sure, it's like, you know, it's their company, they have the right to fire who they want, but I feel like there's a certain level of rights that should be provided to people, like, like, you can just get fired for some crazy shit, you know? Like, there's a lot of rights out here, but I mean, I feel like stuff like reputation kind of shit, and stuff like maybe online crap, hasn't been covered by a lot of those yet. I mean, I don't know for sure. I guess I'm not educated on it. But
That way, you wouldn't notice the lock trick.
I feel like there needs to be like a good reason, you know?
But Kokichi did say earlier that he could
Like, if I'm playing a violent game, I shouldn't be able to get fired, but maybe find out I'm like, you know, sacrificing dogs to Satan, like, maybe you could. It was like a known thing. shit on this counter if you want, as long as you don't do it 3 times in a quarter, you can't get fired from it. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have all the answers for that shit, but I feel like there needs to be like a little give and take in rights. It's even though like it's your job and your business or whatever the fuck, like that's still that person's livelihood. Like there's some ounce of respect and shit. Unless it's just a total
I don't want
fuck.
to completely ignore that possibility. But I can't imagine the culprit would have done all this just for a distraction.
If that's the case, then Kokichi's confession earlier was actual.
Seriously? You fucking lied again?
Cough it up, Kokichi!
Oh, man, you guys got me. Okay, I'm not the culprit.
You're telling the truth this time.
I want to say I'm lying, but I'm not.
Why did you say you were the culprit?
I wanted to lure the culprit out. If I claimed to be the culprit, then the real culprit would agree as well. You get me? And if they pressured me to confess, then that would have looked mighty suspicious. Sheesh. Darn it. It didn't go my way because Shuichi butted in on my plan.
You and your fucking lies! Go sit in the corner and play with yourself!
Alright, later, son.
Okay, I'll start right now.
Alright, so who's the asshole who set up this locked room mystery?
You? I can't hold it up anymore.
What's the matter? You going soft on me now?
Who made the locked room mystery doesn't matter since anyone could have done it. Don't you even understand something as basic as that, you filthy cum dumpster?
Cum dumpster! Finally! Someone finally called me a cum dumpster!
She loves it, man. Person lost a job because what they said on social media, yeah. Gotta be careful of that shit, man.
What should we talk about now?
They must focus not on the locked room, but on who.
Like nowadays,
entered
companies
Angie's
check all that shit a lot more than they did when it was first made. Best to just not use it, not have the same name, or not say fucking insane shit. I don't have a problem with what people say, but companies don't give a fuck.
Therefore, the culprit must be among their number.
That leaves us with 4 suspects. Tsumugi, Gonta, Kibo, and Kokichi.
Don't forget Himiko. She's also a part of the student council. Doesn't matter if she was besties with Angie, she's still a suspect.
Yeah. Wonder if
That
piranhas do,
contradicts what
man.
you said earlier, which I can prove using my recording function.
It's fine. That's just a waste of time.
Me? A suspect? Never kill Angie!
What about
So, calling all
the other
suspects,
one?
what should we discuss next? I want to hear everyone's opinion. What would you say to get yourself off the suspect
Yes, this is
list?
about Anja. Or Anji.
Why are you trying to lead the debate? You're a suspect too.
Silence, outsider. Only the suspect rangers are allowed to speak.
Suspect rangers?
I agree. Those under suspicion should explain themselves thoroughly.
We might catch them with their pants down!
Anyway, I want to ask the suspect rangers, what should we talk about? What should we say to get ourselves off the suspect list? Well, guys, I want to hear what you think.
That's sort of a difficult question, you know?
Gonta not smart enough to know answer to that.
Yes, it is difficult to formulate a logical response to that question.
Not articulate with words, huh? Don't you guys want to prove your innocence?
They don't trust you one bit, and I don't blame them. You're probably plotting.
Oops.
I want to know what happened to Angie too, but can we talk about Tenko's case now and not just Angie?
I got you exactly where I wanted, Himiko.
What do you mean?
The two victims could have been killed by two separate murderers, you know. So we need to find the first Blackened responsible for the first victim. We've got to figure out who killed Angie. Until we solve Angie's case, Tenko's case is meaningless. Would you suggest that to waste our time?
It's not meaningless! Tenko's death was meaningless? How dare you! Poor Tenko! How could you do this to her? Himiko...
Himiko, stop it with your crappy lies.
Lies?
Everything you said is total BS. You didn't give two shits about Tenko when she was alive. But now you're like, oh no, poor Tenko, after she's dead. Come on, really?
The edgelord.
Kokichi, enough!
No. It's okay. It's no surprise he'd think that. I know I ignored Tenko before. That's why I'm so upset now. I should have faced Tenko. Worked things out with her while she was still alive. Now, it's too late. I can't complain to her or thank her. It's too late.
Yeah, seriously. It's way too late to realize that now. Our only option is to face her death head on.
Face her death?
Himiko, I understand what you're going through. So I'm gonna help you out. Let's work together to find the truth.
Psh.
I'm not gonna let anyone say her death didn't matter.
Kaito. Alright. I'll put a silencing curse on whoever calls Tenko's death meaningless. The name of the curse is... Death Curse! Suppose being dead would silence someone pretty good.
Listen up! All you guys are gonna help out too. Abandoning someone who died and only thinking about your own survival. That's just as bad as a hit and run! I won't forgive something so messed up!
Tenko was our friend. Gonta wanna know why she died too.
I already told you that's so unnecessary. We're getting sidetracked here.
No, even if it was a different culprit, we need to know how Tenko died. If we don't find out who killed her, we won't be able to work together. Not now, not ever. Even if this trial isn't for her. In order for us to survive, we need to get to the bottom of Tenko's death. Not just to survive this trial, but so we can keep going and live on!
Gonta.
Finally, you noticed. Jeez, you're so slow.
Huh? Did Kokichi want us to notice?
Don't listen to his crap. We haven't decided whether there were two different culprits yet.
Let us talk about Tenko's case then. Perhaps that will provide us a clue.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So, what do we talk about first?
From who? Everybody wanted to switch.
For now, let's see if we can narrow down the list of suspects.
Tancrotch probably got killed during the seance, so everyone there's suspicious. Tancrotch!
Attended the seance. I don't remember the names for everybody, man.
That's it.
Okay. Trying to like remember everybody's names as I see it.
Kyo, Himiko, and Kokichi.
So those four are the culprits!
Jesus, man. This bitch is like worse than the swimmer, donut swimmer. That bitch was dumb, but like me was like insanely retarded. She's almost unbearable during the cases, the trials.
Well, that's probably just a coinkydink. The most suspicious out of the four is really Kyo. He suggested the whole seance idea.
True, I may have suggested it, but I explained the procedure beforehand, yes? If we all knew of it before the murder, then we are all equally suspicious.
Well, I suppose, but...
In addition, the seance wasn't entirely in my control either. I was not the one who selected the room we performed it in. It was Himiko.
Oh, right.
Well, they were working together.
So, we should not limit our suspects to only those who participated in the seance. The empty room had a point of entry from outside, you see.
Oh no!
What do they mean? Get in from the outside. Huh? Oh, that hole in the back they can barely see?
There! You're talking about under the floor, right?
Huh? Under the floor?
Yes,
I
there's a
guess.
space under the floor a person can move through. There was also a hole that connected it to the neighboring room.
If the culprit used the hole, they could have entered and exited the seance room.
If we consider that possibility, then there is another suspect.
Another suspect? Who?
It's appearing before me. Oh, I can see it clearly. The true identity of Tenko's killer.
Who's that? If we go to Robo Man right now, then I don't know how much we want to keep him on the
The
list.
culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
But it was pitch black during this.
What does this say? Oh my fucking Jesus. Evidence is a lot more clear. Well, the problem in this is that it's all on a timer, so they can't just have you leaf through and present shit. Which kind of it's good and bad. There's also shit like this with huge blocks of fucking text, right?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
Light? You mean candle?
I mean, Kibo's flashlight function.
Huh? Now, hold on a second.
Kibo could have used that function to get under the floor and sneak into the empty room during the seance.
I said hold on a second.
He used his robot functions to commit the murders.
Hold on a second!
The culprit sneaked in during the seance by crawling under the floor.
No.
But it was pitch black during the seance. How'd they even see if they were under the floor?
Because it wasn't dark under the floor. You see, our villain had a light.
That's wrong!
Because they would have saw it through the hole in the floor. No
I don't think
fucking
the
way.
culprit could have used a light.
It wouldn't have been pitch black forever.
There was a hole in the corner of the room.
How did they see?
If a light were used, it would have leaked through and we would have seen it.
God, when we did the seance.
Oh, they felt the cut of the thing.
So a light was not shined under the floor, which means you cannot claim I am the culprit.
Jeez.
I'd have night
I
vision,
thought
man.
this would be the case where the murder could only be done by a robot.
You have accused me of being the culprit more than once now, simply because I am a robot. My status as a robot does not mean I am capable of performing superhuman feats.
Might have. He was in the room with the fucking scythe, but that's the biggest reason. And he wasn't in the immediate seance room. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like
My vision
that's
is
the only
somewhat
thing that
poor,
really
and I only possess average physical strength and intelligence.
makes him possible.
All right, you made your point. God, now I feel sort of bad for you.
I neither want nor need your pity.
Enough with the flashlight! It's way too bright!
It would have been difficult to move around under the floor in that pitch-black darkness. Maybe the floor and the hole have nothing to do with this case.
Then why was floorboard under Tenko lined up funny? Going to think that was so culprit could stab Tenko from under floor.
Ooh, nice observation, Gonta. Are you finally getting used to the class trials?
Uh-huh. Thank you.
Fucking going to, dude.
Don't say it like that. You're better off not being used to this kind of stuff.
Maybe they marked Tenko with glowing paint and looked for that. That'd let the culprit find her. Then they could stab her through the floorboards.
They would have saw it when we were putting her under, man.
Boy, that sounds really familiar too. But I'm just gonna ignore it.
Which case was that
Didn't
in?
have any trace of glowing paint, though.
Oh, yeah. So then why was that floorboard loose?
The loose floorboard was the one under Tenko, right? If the culprit used it while she was still alive, she'd totally notice.
Who fucking cares? Fussing over that won't get us closer to the culprit.
Was that the
Should
first
dismiss
case?
This line of inquiry, however.
Was it the Fat Man one? I don't remember.
Instead of butting our heads against this, how about we concentrate on another issue?
What other issue?
Perhaps first, we should figure out how and when exactly Tenko was killed.
Yeah, I'm not sure myself.
When? So not during seance?
Tenko was in the metal cage for the whole seance, wasn't she? How could someone have gotten to her there?
Maybe the culprit killed her before she went under the metal cage.
That's not possible. She was alive at that point. Yes, she was unmistakably alive when the seance began.
That was right before we blew out the candles. But when the light came back...
The floorboard was removed at that point, so it's likely she was already dead then.
So she was killed when the room was dark?
But she was inside cage, right? Going to think it impossible to kill her then.
Impossible.
But she wasn't killed when the room was dark. It was a different time.
A different time?
How the fuck should I know? You figure it out, shitheads.
Huh?
Since Gonta said it was impossible, I'm proposing an alternate theory. Now hurry up and think! If you want to make my golden brain tingle, start circle jerking your lipstick brains!
This bitch is just here to add gameplay, man.